Now, I noticed one thing, I just noticed that the sink is not there. So that sink was very important. There used to be a sink right there. Prabhupada used to sit right here on the platform because when Prabhupada would cut the apple after the kirtan, then he would not core it or would not skin it, just slice it. And then it would be passed around. And he would also take one. And he would just put it in and chew. And then somehow he was able to separate the core and the skin and so on. And then he would lean back and just spit the whole thing right into the sink. And everyone said, wow. No one did that. So that sink is not there. They should put a sign. This is the sink which Prabhupada used, as like a spittoon. Going to work, I would go every day to work, to New York City, a Board of Education, and one day I saw there was a newspaper just lying there in the subway. I wasn't reading I'd stopped reading the newspapers. There was the New York Times, and there was a picture of Dr. Radhakrishnan. And I just snatched it up. I started reading, and it was Dr. Radhakrishnan retires. He was the president of India. And I ran back to the temple with it to show to Prabhupada, because Prabhupada had been telling us all about Dr. Radhakrishnan. He had so much contact with him, and he had asked him to join in this movement. And Dr. Radhakrishnan was the Pakka Mayavadi, the deluded scholar, who said not to Krishna, the unborn within Krishna, and Prabhupada said so many things. And but Prabhupada had told us that he had invited Dr. Radhakrishnan to preach Krishna consciousness. And Dr. Radhakrishnan told Prabhupada, when I retire, then I will do it. And here I am riding on the subway to New York in my job, and there's the newspaper right staring me in the face, Dr. Radhakrishnan retires. So I took the article, and Prabhupada wrote him a letter inviting him to take up Krishna consciousness. And but whatever happened, nothing came of that. But then later, when Prabhupada went to India on his tour of South India, he went to see Dr. Radhakrishnan. And you know the story, how he was incapacitated and so on. He had gotten a stroke, and he couldn't even speak. He was paralyzed. And Prabhupada said, because he cannot speak because he is Mayavad. This is what Krishna has. He spoke so much nonsense, and now he cannot speak. My roommate from college, he came. I was living on 6th Street, and he came to tell me that we used to go to Ramakrishna, all these yoga places together, and he said, I just went to a very Swami, but very unusual. They were singing and dancing. We were into meditation, singing and dancing. And he said, yeah, and he has a big tape recorder. It was a tape recorder, because we refused to wear a wristwatch because we didn't want to know what time it was. So it was mundane time. So but he said Allen Ginsberg was there. So he was our hero. So I said, I have to go. So then I came here, I walked over, and I came here and sat right back there at the door. And I remember Prabhupada coming in, the door opened, and Prabhupada came in. And as he came in, he was to get up on the platform, but instead he just stopped, and he turned, and he looked right at me. And I'll never forget that. It's like burnt into my memory that our Dayananda is saying hello. Okay. So anyway, Prabhupada once asked me, he said, how did you join? So I told Prabhupada the story. This is a very important question. How did you join? I mean, even Prabhupada was interested to know how we joined. He asked me once, this is many years later, he said, how did you join?
Maybe it was just you.
No. So I told him, my friend, yeah, I guess so. He said, I told him that my friend told me about you, and I came, but he didn't join. And Prabhupada said, oh, same with me. And then he told the story how his friend, I think Narendranath Mulak, brought him to Bhakti Siddhanta, but then he did not join. Prabhupada joined. So then Prabhupada told that story. Very nice. Je anilo